Sup YouTube, it's Zap TCG here, and thanks again for watching our deck profile video on my channel. In this deck profile, we are gonna visit the list that Reklev used in order to win the Oceania Internationals. So Reklev, a Norwegian player, actually did it. He did the impossible and won 3 internationals back to back. So we actually won the North American Internationals, the European Internationals, and now the Oceania Internationals. So a big shout out to Reklev, one of the best players in the TCG right now. So what list did he use? Well, we're gonna check that out today. He was playing Zoroark together with Gardevoir. So that's what we're gonna check out today, what the entire list was, because I got a lot of questions on my YouTube comment page where people wanted to know the list. So in this section, this video, we're gonna just check it out what Reklev actually used. So to first start it off, he is running 4 line of Zoroark. Zoroark GX is something that we've seen a bazillion times. He's using the ability trait in order to draw all the resources that he wants. So we're gonna have a 4 of Zoroark GX. He also is playing double Colorless energy, so Righteous Beating is one of the attacks that he used a lot during the tournament, and the ability trait mixes him so it's possible to draw into your rare candies, into your Gardevoirs, even Gallade. So this is just a list running on its own. He also has 3 Brigettes. We're gonna check that out later. But the main thing is getting your Zoroarks out and then using trade in order to get your resources that you want. Then, of course, we are gonna play Gardevoir in this type of list. He's running only 2 Gardevoir GXs. Then he's also running 1 Gallade, because Gallade has the attack sensitive blade, and that deals 60 damage. And if you play the supporter during your turn, which most of the times always happens, you actually deal an additional 70 damage. That's 150 damage, and you are a fighting type, so things like Silvally GX go down, Zoroark GX go down. So being a fighting type is awesome. Then, of course, the main attacker, actually the best attacker of the deck, is Gardevoir GX. It has the ability Secret Spring. With that, you can attach a fairy energy, a basic fairy energy from your hand during your turn as an additional energy. So it has energy acceleration built in, and you also have DCE, so it packs quite a punch with infinite force, dealing 30 damage for each energy attached to both active Pokemon. So that will deal a ton of damage. And Twilight GX can also get you back all the resources you might wish for. So let's say you had to use Sycamore early game to get rid of everything in your entire deck. Well, if you get a Gardevoir out, you can get everything back. So we don't see Twilight GX that often, but it's definitely interesting. And also this Gallade, if you can see it, it has the attack premonition, or actually the ability premonition. Once during your turn, you can look at the top 5 cards of the top of your deck and rearrange them in any order. Together with trade, this is an OP combo. You'll definitely get anything you might wish for. So if you get Gallade out, the Zoroark GX definitely helps it out a lot. Then we are gonna run 4 Ralts. We're gonna run 1 of these Ralts, the Psychic types, and then 3 Fairy type Ralts. There's also another one available, but in this situation we're gonna run the one from Burning Shadow. So 4 of the Ralts. The Ralts will never attack, in my opinion. If you are attacking with Ralts, things are going horribly wrong. But we're gonna run 4 Ralts. As you can see in this list, there's not a single Kirlia in here. And why is that? Because in this type of build, you just want to use Brigette, get your Zoroark GXs out, use a thing like Mallow in order to get your rare candy, and Gardevoir, and boof, off you go. That's how the list works. Then for the Tapu Lele, the number is correct here. We're running 3 Tapu Lele with 3 Tapu Lele, 4 Ultra Ball, and 3 Brigettes in the list. Starting with that Brigette first turn is easy as pie. So as for the tech cards in this list, so now that we covered everything here, we're gonna talk about some tech cards. We're gonna have 2 tech cards here. We're gonna run the Giratina promo, and then of course the Mew. The Mew EX is still legal because it was an XY promo. I believe it was number 176, so it's still legal. You can also use that full art promo card that was available in North America. So the Mew EX, definitely a great Pokemon. It can use all of your attacks for every Pokemon in play, but you still need the necessary energies. If you get a Zoroark GX out, give a DCE to Mew EX, and it will be one-shotting Boswell GXs all day long. Unfortunately, it only has 120 HP. The good news is that it can just one-shot any Boswell you come across. So that's why he was running the Mew EX. Also, Giratina was in here because Greninja pretty much shuts this deck down. Trade gets blocked with Shadow Stitching, Secret Spring gets blocked, Premonition gets blocked, and Wonder Tag. So if Greninja is facing you, then he will be dealing 40 damage with that Shadow Stitching turn after turn. In combination with Greninja Break sniping a bazillion damage with that Giant Water Shuriken, we just want to have that Giratina just to block ourselves, not to get that many damage or that much damage, and that's why Giratina was in this list. Now for the supporters. I already spoiled it for you guys, but we are gonna run 3 Brigettes. So Reklev is one of the people that like playing 3 Brigettes just to start with it. He's running a less count of draw supporters like Sycamore and stuff, but he opted to play 3 Brigette. With 3 Brigettes, you'll have this first turn, you can get yourself some Zoroarks and Ralts, and off you go. If you get a Zoroark GX, the turn after that, getting Gardevoir GX is definitely easy with Mallow. And now for the draw supporters, we're gonna only run 2 copies of Sycamore. This is kind of similar like the list people are using with Puzzle of Time. You don't always need that many Sycamores, you can always use Puzzle of Time to get them back. Then for N, we're gonna run 3 copies of N. So as you know, this is not Ultra Prism legal just yet. So this is the list before Ultra Prism is legal, just to let you guys know. But I wanted to share you this list because I watched the stream and I just adored Gardevoir with Zoroark so much. And there's the list that Tord Reklev used. I definitely wanted to review it. So here we have 3 Ns. Ns is great in the late game. If you have Zoroark GX out, you don't have the drawback of N lowering to a lower hand size, and your opponent will have a low hand size while you can just benefit while using trade and premonition and stuff. So 3 Ns, and then the most MVP card of the entire deck is Mallow. I've seen it on the stream that much. Mallow, then get your rare candy Gardevoir, poof, off you go. Also, this list runs a bunch of one-off cards in the deck, so with Mallow you definitely get the cards you want. And then for the last supporter of the deck, it's gonna be Guzma. Guzma just targets everything you might want. Just you can also swap your, you actually have to swap your active with one of your bench, but then you can just drag one of the bench of the opponents or one of the Pokemon on the bench, poof, drag it to the active and smack it with Infinite Force or Righteous Beating. It all depends. So this is the supporter count. These are the Pokemon. Now the only thing we need to do is check out the energy count and the items. For the items, we are gonna run 4 Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball is basically in every deck, so this is not different here. For Ultra Ball, make sure that you can get your Tapu Lele early game, or you can just draw, get yourself your Gallade, your Gardevoir, it all depends. So for Ultra Ball, the best draw engine for your Pokemon. And for the other thing that is innovative, actually Tord Reklev is the one that just hypes the Puzzle of Time a lot. He's been playing with Zoroark Gallade, but this time around, we're also running 4 Puzzles of Time in the Gardevoir Zoroark list. The Puzzle of Time makes sure that you can get anything back from your discard. If you have 2 of them in the hand, you can get back your Lele's, your Gardevoir, your Gallade, your Sycamore, it all depends. Even your tech cards like Mew can come back from the discard pile with Puzzle of Time. Most of the time you will use it in order to get yourself your DCEs back or your Guzma, but it is just such a great card. And with Zoroark is the best friend of Puzzle of Time. If you have 1 in the hand, you can use trade, use another trade, and oh, suddenly you have 2 Puzzle of Time in your hand and all the options are available to you. Then, for the rare candy count, people are just thinking, is he playing 4 rare candy, is he playing 3 rare candy? In my opinion, he was playing 3 rare candy. With 3 rare candy, you can definitely get out your Gardevoir and Gallade pretty quickly. The thing you want to do here is get your Zoroark set up, and then you definitely run into your rare candies easy as pie. Definitely with Mallow, rare candy, Gardevoir, that is the combo I'm saying a lot in this video, but that is just how it works. Another thing I like about this Mallow list here is you can use Mallow, get your Mew, get your DCE, poof, you smack around the Buzzwole GX in the discard pile. Yeah, that's awesome. Then, for the Field Blower count, we're gonna run 2 copies of Field Blower. Field Blower will blow away any float stones, any choice bands, any fighting fury belts that is attached to an opponent's Pokemon, just get rid of them. Another great thing about Field Blower is you can get rid of Brooklet Hills, which meaning stadium cards can get rid of. Also things like the Parallel City, which causes a lot of trouble in a deck like this because Righteous Beating is dealing more damage depending on your bench size, and the Parallel City slows you down a lot, so that's why 2 Field Blowers is the ideal con. And also, if you're somehow still facing Garbodor with Garbotoxin, you can get rid of the Float Stone on a Garbotoxin. So that's why there are 2 Field Blowers in here. Then, for the Evosoda, there's 2 Evosoda in this list, and that is just really self-explanatory. As I said a lot in this video, you're gonna use Brigette, you're gonna get out your Zoroark, evolve the turn after that into Zoroark GX, and with Evosoda, you go to those Zoroark GXs way quicker. In theory, you'll have 6 Zoroark GXs to draw into, because these can count as a Zoroark GX. That's how it goes. You will never use it for Gallade or Gardevoir, because you don't have any Curlios, but it's just for your Zoroark in order to evolve into Zoroark GX really quick. So, next up, one-off items. So, there's 1 Enhanced Hammer in here. He didn't find room for 2 Enhanced Hammer, but Enhanced Hammer works out a lot in the current format. Everybody's playing Strong Energies, Splash Energies, DCEs, and etc. So 1 Enhanced Hammer, only 1 Choice Band. This is kind of peculiar here. He's only running 1 Choice Band because he is running it with an infinite force, and infinite force deals damage as it is. With a puzzle of time, you can get back your choice band, and also if this choice band is attached to Gardevoir GX, it's really powerful, and with Mallow you can always get your choice band. So only one choice band, only one float stone, getting out of awkward situations because Giratina has 2 retreat costs if you happen to start with it. It's not a great thing, but you also have your Guzmas to fill up with that. So definitely a great list in my opinion. Then one max potion in combination with Gardevoir. We've seen it a lot before. It is called the Broken Gardevoir, and that is true in this list as well. If Gardevoir is almost knocked out, use max potion and then get back all your resources. Just attach an energy thanks to Secret Spring and a DCE, and off you go once again. And then another one off. This is a stadium card. I'm gonna lay it right here next to Tapu Lele. It is Parallel City. Parallel City is just such an interesting card. You can just play it both sides. You can play it like this, where the opponent only has a bench space available of 3, and then they have to discard Pokemon if they have more than 3 bench Pokemon. A great way to slow down the opponent because they will be playing Zoroark GX as well. Zoroark GX is everywhere, and that way he will be dealing less damage with Righteous Beating, so that is a way to play it. You can also play it the other way around, which I don't recommend though, but that way it ensures that the fire types, grass types, and also water types deal less damage. But the best way to play it is to limit the opponent's bench size. And then for the energies, very straightforward. There's gonna be 4 of the fairy energies. These fairy energies are necessary in order to power up your Gardevoir. It's also neat in order just to get your fairy energy onto something with 1 retreat cost in order to retreat it. That's why there's only 1 Floatstone in this list. And then to finish it off, we have for DCE. DCE is something that Zoroark GX is in love with. He needs that DCE for Righteous Beating. Gardevoir also loves himself a bit of a DCE attachment, and then bam, you can swipe with Infinite Force. Same goes for Gallade. Gallade with a DCE can get rid of opponents, Zoroark GXs, and that's how this list was the #1 list for the Oceania International. So thanks again for Reklev for sharing the list, and this is definitely one of the lists you should try out. Even though Ultra Prism is around the horizon and the Metal type Pokemon are becoming a little bit more popular in the format, definitely still test this deck out. It's doing a lot of shenanigans against all of the opponent's decks, except if you're facing things like a Metal type deck, because the Duskmane Necrozma is around the horizon and maybe will give this deck a huge amount of trouble. So this is the list for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed another TCG video on my channel. If you did, show your support by destroying the like button. You know I always appreciate that, and it gives me the support to make more and better Pokemon TCG videos for you guys. Anyways, have a fantastic day, and for everybody that's returning from the Oceania Internationals, have a safe flight home, and we'll be seeing you guys soon enough with more Pokemon TCG content. I'm out. Peace.